Sometimes it seems like it's just one frickin' thing after another. About 2 years ago, I broke my left ankle. And this dude, Rick Katz, put it back together with a lot of metal. Screws, bolts, plates, I don't know what all, but there's a hell of a lot of metal in my ankle. And that along with the metal in my neck from other stuff. And I go through it's big trouble when I go through the thing at the airport, you know. Well, anyway, ironically, having lost 150 pounds and getting exercise like swimming almost every day, my ankle it's hurting like crazy. Yesterday I saw my primary and well, let's just say it hurt a lot. And today I already had this appointment with my orthopedist, Rick Katz. So I went and saw him in Albany and explained that I'm going to be gone for about a month, and my ankle, the pain is just getting unbearable, and I can hardly walk sometimes. I don't like all bitching so much. I'm just telling you what's going on. Uh, well, he said, I said, for one thing, I need to get that metal out of there because it sticks out and I bump it and that raises hell. And Bob Brandis, my primary, he said that can also make, the metal can make it hurt more, basically. So I told Rick, I'm really having a lot of trouble. I'm going to be gone for a month. I need help. And I want to get the metal out. So he did hook me up with this other orthopedist who's going to take the metal out, presumably. And I said, but I'm going to be gone for a month, and I need help because I'm going to be on the road, away from my doctors, and I need something to get me through until I can have this other operation. And he said, well, I can't give you any narcotics or anything like that because drug addicts have gone shopping for doctors. And I'm thinking, yeah, Rush Limbaugh, that prick. But what's that got to do with me? Dude, I'm hurting badly. And you're telling me that because there are drug addicts, you can't help me? What the fuck, dude? Since when do you listen? He says, well, the state now, it's they have all these records, and if they see that I'm prescribing hydrocodone for you, well, so since when do you listen to this frickin' legislature rather than your patients? I don't care if drug addicts try to get pain meds. So what? What's that got to do with me? I'm hurting and I need help. He eventually gave me a script for some hydrocodone. Um, and I don't I don't need pain med to feel good. I feel great except for the pain. And hydrocodone doesn't make me high or whatever. Oh, anyway, um, so that so he gave me the script, and I dropped it off at Walgreens to get it filled, not realizing that I was about to need it even more than I realized. So I went to the pool, and I swam 1,600 yards. That's 500 yards more than I had ever swum before. But that's how I am. When I start doing something, mowing the lawn, splitting wood, piling wood, whatever. Once I start, I just it's hard for me to stop. Like I swam 500 yards today. That's how I sort of trick myself into swimming. I say, well, dude, you just go for swim 500 yards, and then you can quit. Well, I get to 500, and then I thought, well, geez, I can't stop at 500. The first time I swam, which was like 4 weeks ago. Um, I did 600 yards the first time. So it just, I do more and more and more, and then I say, well, you know, it would sound really nice and even if I did 1,000 yards. So I got to 1,000, and then so well, the most I've done so far is 1,100. So I had to do that, and then having done 1,100, I had to beat it by 100. So now I'm up to 1,200, and then I thought, well, 1,500 is a nice round-ish number. So I did 1,500, and then I thought, well, yeah, I I want to do two more. So I did two. Um, I don't know. I did 1,600 yards swimming in an hour and a quarter, and then my back was just killing me. And not to mention my ankle. I try not to kick while I'm swimming because that just makes things worse. But so I quit at 1,600, and I was saying to a woman as she was there, she hadn't torn ACL. I don't know. I think she got it pitching a no-hitter for the Yankees, or maybe it was the Red Sox. I don't know. Anyway, we were chatting. I said I just swam 1,600 yards. And she, what? That's a lot. Well, yeah. If I'd known, I couldn't remember how many yards there were in a mile. If I'd known at the time that there were 1,760 yards, I would have gone another 200 yards to make it 1,800, so that I would have swum more than a mile. Luckily, I didn't know that, because by the time I got out of the pool, I was well, I was tired and hurt, and naturally, you know, I'm doing my best to get myself in shape and living again. Well, I slipped. The floor was wet, naturally. It's a swimming pool. Of course the floor is wet going to and from it. Fell right down. Banged my elbow. Bleeding. Geez, it's bleeding right through there, isn't it? Well, bleeding on the floor and in the locker room, and I'm embarrassed. This little kid, I don't know if he saw me fall, but he and his buddies were going in. I think they're on the swim team or something. And he was very concerned. He said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And it turns out I couldn't get up. This little kid, I don't know. I don't know what kids' ages are, but I guess he was like 10 maybe. He had to help me. He had to give me his hand so I could get up off the frickin' floor. He's a really nice kid, and him and his buddies, they were actually concerned about me. It was reassuring to know that there are good people growing up in the world. I don't know why it should surprise me, but it kind of does. Anyway, I didn't realize then I was bleeding, but I got down to the locker room and I saw, this doesn't gross you out, but I saw red stuff on the floor, and I thought, that looks like blood. Somebody bleeding in here? And then I realized it was me. So, dang. It's just always some frickin' thing or another. So, you know, there's this song, I Lived by One Republic. I love that song. And there's one lyric, it's, of every broken bone, I swear I lived. Well, broken bones? Yeah, I got a few of those. There's this one, my arm, my leg a couple of times, ankle, foot, wrist. I don't remember all the bones I've broken, but I like that song. It makes me feel better about it. You know, I've broken a lot of things. I've been beat down and busted up, but I lived, and I'm still living. My elbow's pretty dang sore. And swollen, too. Jeez. I'll have to go to the clinic tomorrow. Anyway, so, you know, I'm going on and on about that, but here's one of my mottos. You see that? Yeah. Whoops. I don't know. Probably shouldn't do that, but keep calm and cowboy up. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. This is apropos of nothing, but I love that picture. Little kid giving the finger. And then down here there's this one. What you looking at, bitch? That's right, walk away. I don't know what this one is. Oh, I'll love this too. After the Super Bowl, you mad, bro? Was he, the Seattle player? He said it to Brady. I can't remember the exact circumstances, but that cracks me up too. So anyway, I am just trying to keep calm and cowboy up, and just keep getting back in the saddle, or at least getting back on my feet. So anyway, I've ranted enough for today. After driving, I've got to tell you about people at roundabouts. American drivers, I would say that about 35% of them can make no more sense out of a roundabout than they can fathom the lyrics of a Yes song. But that's for another day. So, with that, cowboy up, carry on, Dominus Vobiscum.